I stood on the weathered deck of my lakeside cabin, the boards groaning under my weight, as Cassandra Holt brandished a thick manila folder like a trophy. Her smile was venomous, the kind that made you double-check your pockets. Next to her, a lanky stranger jangled a set of keys-me keys, unmistakably. "This property belongs to me now," Cassandra declared, her voice sharp as a blade. I was stunned silent. I hadn't signed a thing, sold a thing, or even crossed paths with this woman in months. Yet there she stood, gloating like she'd won a war. What she didn't know was that her 911 call, accusing me of trespassing in my own home, had just ignited a fuse I'd been carefully tending. One move, and I could unravel her entire scheme, exposing her fraud and turning her precious neighborhood into a digital auction block. 3 days earlier, my phone had buzzed while I was troubleshooting network cables at my tech job. Detective Laura Bennett's voice was steady but tinged with unease. "Mr. Nolan, we've got a problem at 847 Lakeshore Drive. A property dispute. We need you down here." "A dispute?" My grandfather's cabin was mine, inherited 2 years ago, free of any mortgage, taxes paid, insurance spotless. The 20-minute drive to the lake felt endless, my stomach knotted with dread. That cabin was my refuge, where my grandfather taught me to fish, to think, to value the quiet moments. Losing it was unthinkable. Pulling into the gravel driveway, my heart sank. A police cruiser blocked my spot, and there was Cassandra, the self-anointed queen of our informal homeowners association, strutting across my porch like she owned it. Her tailored blazer and designer jeans screamed calculated ambition, her blonde hair pulled back in a way that screamed trouble. Detective Bennett approached, her graying hair and steely demeanor hinting at years of navigating human chaos. "Mr. Nolan, I'm sorry, but Ms. Holt has filed paperwork claiming ownership. She's got a purchase agreement and deed transfer that look legitimate. Until this is sorted, you'll need to stay off the property." The words hit like a gut punch. "That's impossible," I said, voice shaking. "This cabin's been in my family for 30 years. My grandfather left it to me in his will." But doubt crept into Bennett's eyes as Cassandra handed over a folder stuffed with official-looking documents, county seals, notary stamps, and a supposed will amendment claiming the cabin was sold to cover debts. Debts? My grandfather never mentioned any, and as his estate's executor, I'd have known. Cassandra's sidekick, a slick man named Victor Reed from Reed Property Services, spoke up with polished sincerity. The previous owner had substantial debts. The sale was entirely legal. I fumbled for my phone to call my lawyer, but Cassandra was already ahead. "I'm sure Mr. Nolan's attorney will want to review everything," she said, her smile cold as ice. "But for now, he must vacate my property. Insurance concerns, you understand." Detective Bennett looked uneasy but stood firm. With competing claims and Cassandra's papers appearing airtight, I had no legal ground to stay. Walking through the cabin, I grabbed essentials, each fishing rod and worn book a stab to the heart. Cassandra followed, gloating about her plans, adding a second story, expanding the deck, turning my grandfather's sanctuary into a modern entertainment hub. Her words were daggers, each one slicing into my family's legacy. The locksmith changing the doors kept glancing at Cassandra nervously, mouthing sorry when she wasn't looking. Something wasn't right, but with Bennett nearby, I couldn't confront him. In my pocket, I gripped the brass compass my grandfather had left me, its needle pointing north toward the ancient oak he cherished. Cassandra's final jab came as I reached my car. "I'll be sending you a bill for trespassing fees, Mr. Nolan. Nothing personal, just protecting my investment." Sleep eluded me that night. Cassandra's smug face burned into my mind. By dawn, I was parked outside Margaret Evans' house, clutching a gas station coffee. Margaret, my grandfather's neighbor and confidant for over 2 decades, answered in a faded robe, her sharp eyes narrowing as I spilled the story. "That woman's been circling your grandfather's land since he passed," she said, pulling a dented tin box from under her kitchen counter. 6 months before he died, he was scared. Said people were after the lake properties. He hid something important. Inside were letters, a hand-drawn map, and yellowed documents. My grandfather's shaky handwriting filled a letter. "Daniel, if Margaret's giving you this, the vultures have come." Cassandra threatened to force the sale. I recorded her. Use this. The map revealed a bombshell. The cabin straddled 4 property lines, giving my family partial ownership of neighboring lots, including utility easements. A text from Ethan Parker, a blogger known for exposing local corruption, jolted me. Deep fake videos of you saying you sold the cabin are spreading online. Call me. I showed Margaret, who scowled. Your grandfather warned me about tech like that lies made to look real. A final note in the box pointed me to the oak tree, 150 paces from the porch, where a stone with a compass rose hid something crucial. The next morning, compass in hand, I paced out the distance. After an hour of searching, I found the carved stone under layers of leaves. Beneath it, a sealed ammunition box held a gold mine. The original 1994 deed, my grandfather's unamended will, and contracts proving he built the community's water and electrical grid, retaining control rights. My family didn't just own the cabin, we held the keys to the neighborhood's infrastructure. Ethan's call raised the stakes. The deep fakes were sophisticated, but their metadata exposed them. This isn't just about your cabin, he said. They're after the whole lakeside. At the courthouse, a clerk confirmed the contract's validity, but noted Cassandra had accessed them recently. Someone was leaking information. That evening, Ethan's blog post exposing the fakes went viral, igniting outrage. An anonymous tip pointed to Sterling Developments, a company buying lake properties through shell companies, with Cassandra as their local face. Then came the fire. At 3 a.m., Margaret called, voice trembling. Daniel, the cabin's burning. I raced to the lake, the stench of scorched wood and melted plastic hitting me before I saw the wreckage. The cabin was a shell, its electrical system destroyed. Fire Chief Thomas Blake suspected arson, noting multiple ignition points. Cassandra arrived, her designer pajamas absurdly pristine, lamenting the tragedy while hinting at demolition. But Ethan, on site with his drone, showed me damning evidence. Someone hacked the cabin's smart meter at 2:27 a.m., triggering the fire. The digital fingerprints matched the deep fakes. The fire exposed a hidden bunker under the cabin, its steel door revealed behind a charred panel. Using my grandfather's birthday, I opened it to find a high-tech command center servers, monitors, and a red button labeled Emergency Protocol 7. A screen message read, Daniel, everything to stop them is here. The servers held recordings of Cassandra and Sterling Development CEO, Abigail Foster, plotting to remove obstacles, plus financial records of bribes and specs for hacking electrical systems. Protocol 7 could broadcast this to every household. I acted. At 10 a.m., as Cassandra and Abigail pitched their resort to investors at the community center, I hit the button. Screens flickered, and my grandfather's voice boomed, exposing their crimes phone recordings, bribe records, hacking logs. The crowd erupted, residents sharing tales of coercion. Detective Bennett stormed in with FBI agents, arresting Cassandra and Abigail for fraud, arson, and cyber terrorism. Abigail's cries of a setup fell flat against the evidence. 6 months later, the cabin's ashes were gone, replaced by the Nolan Historical Preserve, funded by $50 million from Sterling's seized assets. A visitor center housed my grandfather's compass, inscribed, Not all who wander are lost. Protect your home by sharing its truth. Ethan's coverage made him a national name, and new laws bore my grandfather's legacy, safeguarding communities. Cassandra, in prison, wrote a viral redemption blog. Abigail turned witness, exposing similar schemes. Standing by the lake, I held a new compass, engraved, Remember where you came from. My grandfather's fight wasn't just for a cabin, it was for a community's soul. And we'd won.